Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Say Slay. Thank you for tuning into episode 2. And today's guest is Savannah Harrod. You will hear me call her Sav, but her name is Savannah Harrod. She is a BFA musical theater major at Oklahoma State University. That's where we met, and she quickly became one of my best and closest friends. And so I wanted to start these first few episodes with people that were prominent figures in my life, you know, not just random people, so that I could build up a little bit of a more confidence in terms of this podcasting stuff. So these first two people are two of my best friends on the planet. And yeah, we're so excited to have her here. She's just going to talk to us a little bit about her life, what she does in terms of performance. She does a little bit of sound and audio stuff like me. And yeah, it'll be great. So here we go. The informal definition of slay.
It's
greatly
the
impressed
docu-series about the Duggar family.
Girl, you slay.
I'm plugging
Stylish
Showtime right
or
now.
successful
Slay
in your vocabulary.
For my full screen that says, "Do you want to leave? It's being recorded."
Do you say slay? So is slay a word you use every day? Hi, Sav. How are you today?
Liz. I'm good.
Good. I'm so glad. For the listeners, this is the first recording that we're doing. This is not the first episode that's getting released, but this is the first recording session we're having. So,
Because I'm the best.
Right. So this is Sav. She is a very good friend of mine. We're just gonna get into it with the questions because the first question will kind of introduce you as well. So the first question, to your recollection, and then I'll kind of add in details after if you forget everything. How did we meet? And when we met, was there like, did you have a really strong first impression of me? Is there anything you remember thinking about being like, oh yeah, or whatever? Like, what were you thinking? How did we meet?
Okay. Well, so as far as I remember, we met for the first time at the War Brides rehearsals at the beginning of the year. I had heard things about you, but then you were just like kind of normal. Yeah, and then we got to know each other, like, I think more through that rehearsal process, and like you were super cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I would agree. We met during War Brides, which that might get talked about in the first episode. So Kat Wardell, the first guest I had on the podcast, she was the director of it, and she's my best friend, and she had told me about you before we started the process because I remember she was so nervous because it was her directing debut and stuff. So she was like, I'm nervous about the cast or whatever. And after auditions, she was like, but there was this one girl, Sav, and she was like really good. And then after every rehearsal, she'd just be like, Sav is doing so good. And I'd be like, cool, I don't know who this person is, but that's great. Like, I'm so happy that it's going well. And then I remember I didn't come to the actual designer run. I came to a run before that. And I remember watching it and I was sobbing just because of you. I was sobbing.
It's probably fair to say that I was doing an emotional scene.
Yeah, it was a very emotional, very sad show.
Yeah.
Very sad show,
really
not
sad
a comedy.
Show.
And I just remember sobbing, and the cat was like, good. And I was like, she's incredible. And then, yeah, I went up and we started being friends. Okay, cool. Yes. Great. I'm glad I was a normal human, I guess.
You were normal.
Okay, so the next question. Where are you currently living? And what is your favorite and least favorite part about where you're currently living? So I would do your Texas location, not Stillwater, because that's where you are.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Great. So I live I don't even know what to, like, I live in the Dallas area. Because if I say exactly where I live, no one's going to know where that is.
Yeah, Dallas area.
I live in the Dallas area.
Dallas, Texas, for people who aren't from the South or don't know where that is.
I live with my parents because I can.
Right.
I guess I don't really have any strong opinions about where I live. I've never lived anywhere else.
Right.
Um, we never moved my entire life, so it's just kind of like the only place I know.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's just like a pretty like small town, and like the only thing to do is go to Target. So, right. So, I don't know. I don't really have any strong opinions about where I'm living. It's just kind of where I'm living.
Right. Would you say that so Sav and I met obviously at college when I was attending Oklahoma State University. She still goes to Oklahoma State University, but it's summer, so that's why she's home. And so, would you say you look forward to going back to Stillwater versus where you live, or which do you prefer? Where do you prefer living?
Well, I think like I mean, I guess I'm not excited to go back to Stillwater, but I mean,
You can just say it's
what
because I'm not there. You could say that. This is the first time you have to go to Stillwater and I'm not there, so you're just super sad about it.
yeah, no, I am. I'm so sad that Liz isn't going to be in Stillwater anymore. That's going to suck so much. Um, I don't know. I don't really have any opinions about like the places I live because also what is there to do in Stillwater, you know?
Right. I completely agree. Right.
So I feel like it's not all that different. I'm in most ways.
Right. Yeah, except for the fact that like you're in school when you're in Stillwater, so you like stay busier. Although I guess you kind of do have a lot going on where you are right now. Sav, for reference, Sav is a BFA musical theater major at Oklahoma State University. Um, but you just got a gig in the Dallas area, right?
Yes, I did.
So tell me about
Um,
that.
yeah, so I got cast in Oklahoma the Musical, which is
In Texas, which is
in
so funny.
Texas, so it's silly. Um, yeah, so I mean, the I guess I'm a dancer singer. There are some people who are solely singer ensemble, solely dance ensemble, and I'm a little bit of both. But the director was like, "We just really love your
Right.
dancing, and like we thought that you'd be really
Love that.
good." And like yesterday, she was like, "There's a little solo part that I have for you." So how exciting! Um,
Are you getting to tap? Are you in the tap number?
I don't.
Isn't there a tap number in Oklahoma?
Yes, but I think it's one of the guy numbers.
Oh, you might be right.
I think it's one of the guys' numbers. Um,
You're gonna get to like country dance though, right? Like
mhm.
partner dance and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
there's gonna be a lot of partner stuff going
That's cool.
on, and then there's a ballet. Um,
Right.
yes,
The fantasy one or
the
whatever, right?
dream.
Right. Dream one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
Same difference.
we've only had 3 rehearsals. I've been called to two, and so it's just been music stuff and read throughs. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm really excited. I think it'll be fun. Um, Getting a little stipend, so we love getting the money.
Love that. Love that. Okay, next question. What TV show or movie, if there's a movie, are you currently obsessed with? Are you binging anything right now? You can give me multiple answers.
I've been watching so much. I have been consuming so much media recently.
Right, it's summer.
It's summertime, so I just watched Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I hadn't seen Into the Spider-Verse
Is
for
that
like,
okay, is that the cartoon one that's in the movies right now?
yeah, it's in the movies right now.
You want to hear you want to hear a hot take?
I want to hear all about it.
Hot take. I can't watch those two movies because the way the graphic design is and the drawing gives me a headache.
Oh,
Like I tried to watch the first one. I sat down for the first 20 minutes and like my head physically hurt.
that's sucks for you because they're really good movies.
No big fan.
So I hadn't seen the first one, like for personal reasons.
Okay. Great.
Um, but then the kids I'm nannying really wanted to see Across the Spider-Verse, and so I was
Oh,
like, you know what? I'll give in. I'll watch the first one. Loved it. And then watch
right.
the second one. Loved it even more. And I'm excited for future of these.
Okay, great. Happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm happy the
Thank
kids
you.
you're nannying pushed that boundary for you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um,
What else?
let's see. I also Yellow Jackets. It's on Showtime, which I know
Oh.
nobody has Showtime, but my best friend, she was like, I just started watching the show and I need somebody else to watch it with me. And like
I
everybody else,
love when friends do that. I love when
yes,
they're like, I just watched this show. No one else I know is watching it. You need to watch it so that I have someone to talk to about the
talk
events.
about it.
Right.
Yes. And so everybody else refused to watch it. And I was like, sure, I'll watch it. Obsessed.
Okay.
It was so good. There's two seasons.
What's like the
Um,
general, what's the vibe of it?
gotcha. It's plane crash
Oh.
on a kind of spooky, scary island. Um, and
Okay.
it's got like some supernatural stuff going on and some
Oh.
like culty stuff going on.
I love a cult.
Yeah.
I love a cult.
Uh, and so yeah, and so it's really good. And it's got let's see, it has I don't know, it's got some pretty cool people in it.
Okay.
Um
Maybe I'll invest in
wait,
Showtime to watch this show.
wait, yeah, I just used her account, but like you should. And like Showtime has other stuff on it too. Or if you
Right.
just like got it for a month, I would suggest it. I'm plugging Showtime right now.
Showtime sponsor this pod.
Or Yellow Jackets.
Or Yellow Jackets
Um,
sponsor this pod. Okay.
one of the yeah.
What else are you watching? Did you watch Queen Charlotte?
No, I need to. That's next.
Girl,
Because I just finished the Ultimatum Queer Love.
was it good? I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it yet.
You should you should watch it.
Okay.
It was so much drama. But anyways,
Because
I was
I
gonna
didn't I didn't really get into I stopped watching The Ultimatum.
I didn't watch it.
Like, cause I wasn't invested. Like, I didn't like the people. So I wasn't invested.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of like this season of Love is Blind. When we were watching it,
Hmm.
there was only a couple people I liked. So I
Yeah.
wasn't that invested. That's how I felt with the Ultimatum. After like episode 2, I kind of hated everyone.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to root for any of you. And if you're not rooting for
Hmm.
anyone on reality TV, I feel like it's not worth it.
You should watch the queer season.
Okay.
Very good, very drama. But anyways, I was gonna watch that and then watch Queen Charlotte.
Okay, because you've watched both seasons of Bridgerton, right?
Yes, I have.
I Here's the thing with Queen Charlotte. Okay, I won't give anything away. I won't give any spoilers.
Thank
I
you.
finished it, but I'm not going to give anything away. What I will say is the first few episodes, I wasn't in it. I
Mm,
was I was like, I don't really know what's going on here. I don't know. Cuz if I'm being honest, from the Bridgerton series, Queen Charlotte not my favorite character.
sure.
Not my favorite person. But let me tell you, the latter half of the episodes
Mm,
stabbed me in the heart. I was guttural sobbing at the last
yeah,
episode.
wow.
Guttural. Like
Wow.
like noises coming out of my mouth, sobbing at the last episode.
Guttural.
Yeah. Kat hasn't finished it either, so I'm sure I'm going to get into this argument with her on the podcast as well
Okay.
because she watched like the first 2 episodes and then stopped. I was
Mm,
like, I wanted to kind of do that too, but you need to push through. You need to persevere
mhm.
because it is worth it. Also, like, this doesn't give anything away, but they like go back and forth between like the current
Past and
Queen
present.
Charlotte
Yeah, yeah,
in terms of like where she's at Bridgerton wise, and then like
yeah.
her past life, and henceforth
Yeah. Mm.
other characters are
Oh.
in Queen Charlotte. So you get backstory from some other characters too.
Okay, okay. So, okay, let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Would you
Turning the
say,
tables.
yeah, turning the tables here. Would you say that it's better
Which season? Which season of Bridgerton?
Rank the three.
Rank the three? Oh, this is gonna get my podcast canceled so quick by half of Bridgerton fandom. Okay. Um, I would say overall, I think season 2 of Bridgerton, Queen Charlotte, season 1. And listen, I just love season 2 of Bridgerton. I love it. But here's the thing though, in terms of full circle love story, if you were just asking me whose love story I love the most, Queen Charlotte. Hands down. Hands down. I was a mess. I was a mess. But just, I would say overall season wise, I like season 2 of Bridgerton the best, and then Queen Charlotte. But now I'm seeing, because I don't know, that Bridgerton like Facebook group keeps popping up on my Facebook like feed. And so I'm seeing like all these memes about like,
Uh-huh.
and like requests that Bridgerton fans are making, I guess, where they're like,
Mm-hmm.
Queen Charlotte has made everyone want like backstories on Violet and like them to do a
Mm.
Violet and Edmund show about their love story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if that show was made, it would just crap on everything else.
Wow.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
their love, I mean, the way their love story is hyped up in
Mm-hmm.
all 3 of the seasons of the
Yeah.
Bridgerton escapades or whatever you want to call it is insane.
Seasons.
So I just feel like if that does end up getting created,
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to be game over.
Well, isn't it one of the books?
Yes, I think so. But here's the thing, the series isn't going books.
I know.
They're doing each of the kids, I'm pretty sure.
That's what the books are.
No, I know, but they're not going in the right order.
I know that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so I'm wondering if they're going to see how season 3 is taken. And then I'm wondering if like
a lot of people are upset
I
about it.
know. And then I'm wondering if after this, because no matter how it's taken, there's going to be another Bridgerton series, like season. Like it's going to get renewed.
Yeah.
Like, because people will keep watching it so they can have an opinion about it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So I'm wondering, and if I'm calling this right now, Shonda, I hope you're listening. If I'm calling this right now,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they are going to like combine some of the books into one series. So like multiple of the children's love stories will be happening at the same time, maybe kind of thing.
Yeah.
I could see that happening so that they make fewer seasons of the show, but still get through all of the storylines, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, any other TV shows really standing out for you?
You know, like not, oh, yes. It's another, we're talking about cults here. It's Shiny Happy People.
What is the song?
It's the it's on Amazon Prime. It's the docu-series about the Duggar family.
What?
Girl, have you not been on TikTok?
I am. I'm not on that side of TikTok. I'm not on Duggar family TikTok.
Okay, so here's the thing. I never like sat down and watched the series.
Wait, this is like the 19 kids and counting, 21 kids and counting.
They had 19.
Did it stop at 19?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But anyways, they I watched like shows on YouTube and I watched reruns, but they made a docu-series about the like shit that family like did and their like their belief system and
hold. So you mean outside people made a docu-series about like the bad things that the family did. It's not like a where are they now in terms of like
it's not
is it like really do they do like interviews with the family? Is the family approve it or like what?
Yeah. So Jill is in it, and then Jill's in it, and then one of the cousins, and then an aunt, and then the family friends are all in it, and they do interviews.
Right, because
And it,
isn't the oldest son in jail?
yes, Josh is still in jail.
Oh, and okay, I'm gonna have to watch this because I'm
You
invested
have to
now.
watch it. Yeah. So it's like 5 episodes, I think.
Oh my gosh,
But
I'll
yeah,
get it done today.
it
I'll get it done today.
yeah, it's about like their religion and
Right,
how it's pretty culty.
right.
And like the punishments that like their children went through,
Oh,
and like how Josh has affected their family and
right,
and his siblings.
right.
And so yeah, I'm halfway through it right now and I'm really loving it.
Okay, great. That was a great recommendation.
Of
That
course,
was a good one.
anytime.
Okay, great. Okay, next question.
Next question.
Okay, so we talked about your BFA MT stuff already, and I
Yes.
kind of mentioned that you do some audio stuff or you have done some audio stuff this past year. So talk about, ooh, boo doo doo. I just got an email. Um,
Mhm.
mm, uh, talk about how you got into audio, like what made you want to do some of the sound stuff in college. And then follow-up question is, would you say like it makes you a better performer, like a more aware performer? How would you say that it affects like when you're in a show now that you've done that sound stuff?
Yeah, okay. So I I like to say that it's because my mentor in high school did a lot of like sound and audio stuff and he taught me
Right,
a lot of stuff. But really I knew most of it because I dated this guy who did sound.
right.
Um, Backstory that I don't want to get into,
We won't get
not
into
for this
that.
podcast. Um, but anyway, so I learned a lot of stuff like being around him and being around that mentor in high school. And so you asked me, well, okay, I went into college like wanting the full experience. I wanted to have experience in
Right.
sound and lighting and,
Which I
maybe
will
choreography,
say,
directing.
which I will say is not typical for a BFA person to do. Like, so
Hmm.
in our college, we have the BA in theater, and that is the more generalized track where you can do a little bit of tech, a little bit of whatever you want. But the BFA acting track and the BFA musical theater track, it isn't, you can still do the tech stuff, but it's not expected and like required of you to do
Hmm.
as much tech stuff as maybe the Bachelor of Arts. So you coming in and saying you wanted to do that was rare.
Hmm.
Anyway, continue.
And so that was like my plan going in. And
Right,
then you approached me at War Brides
right.
and you said, would you do sound for one of the shows next semester? And I said, sure, whatever. Um, and then we started with Matt and Ben,
Right.
and I did um uh
Board up.
board up. I was doing the buttons.
Right.
And then um
And you did help me. You helped me assistant design for that too.
yes.
And
And
which
then
you go.
I was just gonna say, and then I did board up for the Moors.
Right. And I actually just sent in a blog post that hasn't been published yet, but maybe by the time this is released, that blog post will have been published. About it just basically like lists all the shows I did my senior year and my role on each one and how like I assistant designed a lot, but that looked different on every show. Or like when I was
Mm.
sound designing the different things I had to do for each show or whatever. And I put for Matt and Ben specifically, I was like, because I sound designed that show. And I was like, hey, like if you want assistant sound design it, I'll teach you a little bit more of the design stuff. And then also you'll be more prepared for the Moors. You'll know about it a little more. You're like, yeah, sure.
Right.
I loved having an assistant on that show. And it I feel like now when I sound design, I need to have an assistant or just another person in the room because just having another set of ears to hear things, especially
Yeah,
when you've been staring at a computer for hours and listening to things over and over and over
slowly losing
again,
your mind.
right? And your brain is melting. Just having another person to be like, no, that doesn't sound good. Like you think it sounds good right now because you've been listening to it really long. It doesn't.
Does not. Yeah.
Right. Or even you just being like we'd force each other to eat,
Yeah.
instead of like not working
Mhm.
for 7 hours and stuff. So that's
Yes.
very helpful. But yeah, okay, so you did some of the sound stuff specifically last semester because I asked you to do those two things. I knew you
Hmm.
had a little bit of an interest in it, but I asked you to do those two things. So how would you say that affects you as a performer?
Um, I think it gives me another perspective in that now I have a little bit more patience when it comes to like technical rehearsals. I totally understand like even like just being a part of the technical team, I understand that lighting is going to need a lot of time during tech rehearsal,
Right.
and I know that sound is going to need their time, and so we have to be quiet and we have to be still because
Right.
there's reasons. And I understood that there were reasons, but
Right.
now I think I understand more how frustrating it can be when those things aren't done correctly.
Right.
Um, and so I think it's given me that perspective. And it's also I don't think I was never um, like rude or dismissive to my technical team in the
Right.
past,
Because even
but
during War Brides, you were a great performer during War Brides in terms of that tech
sure.
process.
I mean, that's just like human decency, but I mean, is it not?
No, it is.
And so, but I think you hang around when you're an actor, you hang around your actors, your fellow actors all the time throughout the entire process. And then it gets to tech week and you're stressed and then you don't want to meet new people. You don't like try. Um, and I think it's been like, oh, you know what? I should actually I don't know, make friends with these people because they're working on this project too. And even though I'm so close with all of my actors right now, and I still have time to get to know these people. And so, deeper than just thanks for doing the sound and thanks for doing the stage managing and stuff. But I think it's given me like an outside perspective to these people are new here. Let's also be friends with them too.
Right. That was good. I never thought about that
Hmm.
in terms of the like performers actually getting to know the technicians and stuff too. I think also too, a lot of people, even people who do like run crew backstage or like wardrobe crew downstairs, who aren't on headset during the show, will be like, I don't understand why tech is taking so long.
Yeah.
But putting on that headset
Oh,
and hearing all of the three lighting people talking and the stage manager talking and the backstage people talking and the sound people talking all at the same time,
yeah.
you really hear that, like, yeah, we might be stopped for 10 minutes, but there are people talking on that headset
Yes.
for the entirety of that 10 minutes.
Yes.
People don't realize that.
Yeah, because they hear hold and then nothing
Nothing.
happens. Air quotes
Right.
there. But really there is so much happening.
Right.
So much.
Right. Right. Okay. Good answer. Good answer. Okay. Last question.
Whoa.
The question of the pod. Here we go. Would you say that the word slay is in your vocabulary? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I think I kind of already know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Where did you pick up the word slay? Because I picked it up from my mentor, Harley, who you know, but I picked it up from my mentor, Harley. And now it is like a defense mechanism that I use. Like if I'm in an awkward situation, I'll be like, oh, slay,
You do
slay.
do
Or
that.
like, I know. Or like, I actually genuinely mean slay, like you slayed it or whatever. But how do you think you picked it up? Did you use it before you were on the sound team or was it? Okay, so how did you pick it up?
Probably TikTok. But like, I would say probably TikTok. Just
Right.
because I don't know. I don't think it was ever a person. I would say
Right.
I was the person, like in my friend group, who said it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would say I was the one
Like
who.
in high school?
Yeah, like in high school.
Oh,
I think I was the one who said it.
right.
I don't know. I go through phases of like saying it more or less. I say it
Right.
over text a lot.
Yeah, I mean, since I asked you to be on the podcast,
Yeah,
I think you've said it at least 4 or 5 times to me, and we haven't texted that much.
yeah. Because I think it's just because it's like quick.
Right.
I've got, yeah. I think I've got like a little bit of
Multiple
like,
meetings, multiple
yes,
meetings, but also direct.
it's direct, and so, but like it's also better than like okay or sounds good. It's got a little flair to it. You know.
Right.
Um, And so I don't know, I like it. But I try not to use it all the time because then
Right.
I feel like I'd get like bullied or something.
Right. But sound team, because Sav was I would say you were the most sound team board up we had this year. Like, because we had the 4 board ups for the main stage shows. And you were the one who like actually wanted to like get to know sound. You came to some extra stuff, things like that.
Team sound.
Right. We get called out in like production meetings and tech tables and things like that because we say slay so much. And then like the director of Godspell, Devon, he was like, we reintegrated slay into his vocabulary. And at the end of the tech process, he was like, Harley and Liz, I just want you to know, like, I'm gonna say slay, and every time I'm gonna think about the two of you now because it's like I say it so much. And now it's like I thought after leaving and not being around Harley all the time, it would kaputs. Like I would not say it anymore. But now I say it all the time. So like my mom will say it now. My dad will say it to make fun of me. Yeah.
Oh,
Michael says it to make fun of me. He doesn't say it in reality.
I thought you were gonna be like Michael's going around saying slay. That would have been hilarious.
No, he very much says it to make fun of me. Um, but yeah, I say it all the time. Or I'm taking dance classes at a theater here, and
Mm,
I will say it in the dance classes, and I don't think it's a thing here. Like people aren't picking up the sleigh.
what a strange thing.
Like if I tell them they slayed it in the dance class, which is a very dance world thing to
I
say.
feel
Like it's a very like you slayed.
yeah,
Like that's a very dance world thing to say. It's a very
yes,
accepted term in the dance
I
community, I would
agree.
say. Not vibing with it here.
Interesting.
Love the dance community here though, side note, but
Yeah,
not Slay fans.
interesting.
So what can I
Hmm.
do? Do you have any other default words that you like say all the time?
I
You
like,
say right. Right.
oh, yeah, but like that's not, I don't know. I don't think I have like a defense word, but I have
Right.
like words that are common in my vocabulary. Right is one
Right.
of them. Right.
Yes.
Um,
Kat and I have adapted that from you.
yes, it's a good
Yeah.
one. It works in so
Right.
many situations. Right. Um,
And it
I
makes
don't
people
know.
feel like you're really engaged. My mom called me out
Hmm.
actually because she was telling me a story the other day, and I was sitting there and I was doing the right thing. She was talking and I was going right, right. And then I caught myself, like I became conscious that I was doing it. And I said, if you're wondering where this new thing came from, it is Savannah Harrod. Kat and I picked it up. And she goes, you know, your father's been doing that too. And it's a new thing. She was like, I've been married to him for a very long time. And she was like, and he's been doing this in conversations now too, that he says right. So I don't know if it was because of you or because of like you and then me saying it. Now he says it
Well, it's
or
probably
what,
that.
but you are infiltrating my household.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Oh,
So
speaking of that, not really that, but about the way I
infiltrating my
speak.
household.
Talking about the way that I speak,
Right.
you one time said, and I think it was like the middle of the night, so I don't know if you remember this, but you were like, Savannah, you sound like, you sound like a British person speaking in an American accent.
I did say
Because,
this.
like, I don't know if you said it exactly like this, but like, if British were a language and you're speaking in an American accent,
Yes.
it was something like that.
No,
I said that to my,
I vividly, we were at Sonic.
oh, were we?
Yes, me, you, and Kat and Peter were at
And
Sonic.
Peter.
We're at Sonic, and we started talking about this because Kat and I have talked about it before. Yes.
Yes. So I said that to one of my friends here,
Right.
and I was like, but I just kind of was like, do you think I talk weird? She was like, I don't know. And I was like, if British were a language. And she sat and she was like, yeah, you do talk like that. I've known this girl since I was like 8 years old. And she was like, yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm
So
so glad that me saying that made that much of an impact on your uh dialect. You really do have your own dialect.
thank you.
It's wonderful.
Thanks.
And Kat and I will catch ourselves starting to talk like you sometimes
Mm,
because we all
yeah.
hang out so much. And I was like, and every once in a while we'll like kind of look at each other and be like, stop. Like, what is that? No, only Sav can talk like that because it
Like
doesn't
you'll
fit
say,
us.
ah,
Right. Um, and like it's like your consonants. It's how you hit your consonants. You hit your consonants in a very particular way. And it's not like a hot mic when you're like or like or
yeah,
anything like that. It's not like that. It's just a very I've never heard someone hit consonants the way you hit consonants.
I got him.
If people do listen to this episode, uh hopefully we get some listens. Uh do you want to tell people to follow you on Instagram or anything?
So my Instagram is Sav_Harrod. Pretty easy peasy.
And if you don't know how to spell her name, it is going to be the title of this episode. So, anything else you want to say to the great people of Say Slay fandom?
You know what? Live your lives and be who you are and love yourself and work hard and slay.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
Okay, everyone, thank you for listening. That wraps up this episode of Say Slay Podcast. Make sure you follow us on social media at say_slay_podcast. And Sav's Instagram will be tagged there, as well as future episodes and future guests. So thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.